good. So what sort of stuff do you do for the most part as far as like your involvement with anything in our industry other than the jewelry? Because we're going to get to the jewelry for sure.
Like stuff that I do in the arts.
Yeah, because I know for you, you're a designer. You have Angelica Uzi, which is your own brand. And it's short for your last name, which is Uzcategui?
Uzcategui, yeah.
Uzcategui. What's your ethnicity?
Venezuelan Italian, but the Uzcategui is definitely Venezuelan.
Venezuelan.
Yeah, okay. I haven't really done too much research on it, but I know that my boyfriend's grandpa, he did research on my last name, and he was telling me that it's actually from this small, it's not even Venezuela, it actually comes from like this small like country. It starts with the B, I forget.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and then.
I'm curious.
But I mean, yeah, I was just like, wow. Learning cool about my name, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the last name, I know it tells a lot about like a person's history from their ancestors and stuff like that. So Venezuelan. Okay, got it. And then you shortened it for Uzi for the sake of branding.
Yes.
I figured that would be a lot easier.
And it's like cool. It's like Uzi.
Yeah.
You know, it's like super like just.
And you actually, you incorporate it into your jewelry too. You got like a little Uzi.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was clever. Might as well.
It came like step by step, you know?
Yeah.
It didn't all just like happen all at once.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll get to the jewelry. What I want to know. So you were initially doing you were a men's stylist.
I was
for OFY Brickell.
Yes.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were living in Florida. You were born in the States and then you moved to Florida, or you were?
So I was born in Miami.
Okay, so you're native to Miami.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I would go back and forth a lot during the summers to like South America, to Venezuela.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm from Miami, and yeah, I was a men's stylist. That was so long ago. Wow.
How did that get? Was that like you studied to do styling, or did that kind of just fall on your lap?
It kind of fell in my lap. I always wanted to do styling. I do actually do styling now for like my company, like when I do photo shoots and stuff. So I've always just been like inclined to doing that.
Yeah.
That kind of art.
And that was a good market in Miami at the time when you were doing it?
Yeah, it worked. It just worked, you know, because it was like right there in like Wynwood in the Arts District. Sure. So it was just like, you know, at the time when I was just like a gypsy being a stylist, just like it was fun. Right. It was a good area, you know, to work at and just be.
Yeah, and that kind of bred your internal creative to be like, you know, I think I can make a brand that would.
No, I didn't even really start like that. I actually, it's actually funny. So I got fired from that job.
Okay.
4th of July of 2017. You know, right? It's like, why are you going to fire someone on 4th of July?
Yeah, it's supposed to celebrate people.
Yeah. Anyway, and 2 weeks after, on the 17th, I met this girl. She does like biodegradable glitter. Like we became close friends. We were just partying one night and the euphoria hit, and I got a one-way with her because she was already coming back to LA where she lived.
Sure.
But I got a one-way. Like I didn't even go home and pack. Like I literally had like my Dr. Martens at a friend's house. I went to that friend's house, picked up my Dr. Martens, and like dipped out.
You left everything behind in Miami and just like that on a whim?
Everything.
Okay, we need to talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so because you got fired from there, you guys were out and about doing your thing, and then that kind of was just like hey, you're going. What was the conversation like for you to even consider that?
So,
because that's a big move. That's a bold to just grab your docs and take off.
I was like 19. I was 19 at the time. I literally spent all my money on that one-way ticket. I had like $10 in my bank account. So you were just basically partying. We did some ecstasy. Next thing you know, we're like wanting to go to New York with this mutual dude we had in common. And he's like, no, what the hell? Yeah. And then we're like, oh, well, maybe you should come with me to LA then. And I'm like, oh, you know, because you're in that just headspace.
Altered head state.
You know, so you're just anything goes.
Sure.
And I just kind of bought the ticket and did the thing. I woke up. Obviously, we were partying, so I wasn't sleeping that much. And then when I finally got to LA, I went to sleep. I woke up, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. So you didn't even give yourself like a night to think about it. You were just on the whim, bought the flight, took off, and now you're here in LA. Yeah. Or you're waking up in LA.
Yeah.
And she had a place here.
Yeah. So she, I couldn't stay with her, but luckily, another friend was letting me stay at his place for like a month until you kind of
get it. Yeah.
Got my,
for sure.
Picked up my feet or whatever the saying is. And you know, things weren't really working out. I ended up staying a little longer than I should have. And yeah, in LA. Mm-hmm. And then I got like a random job up north through Facebook, like trimming. Oh, so I went to, you know, trim camp.
Trim camps.
It was fun. Learned a lot, made good money. Like I hustled 12 hours every day for 3 months straight in the cold, freezing, like just to, you know, not have to go back to Miami. And because there was just nothing really going for me back in Miami.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
You know, there's just party and like I was just kind of losing myself more and more every day, you know.
Especially at that age too. At 19, you were a men's stylist. You were already involved in the partying scene. Mm-hmm. So it's like, where is it going to go from there?
Yeah, there was no direction. Yeah. You know, I felt like lost and like no direction. So I had really nothing to lose when I got that one way. And yeah, so after the trim camp, I had enough money to kind of continue to, you know, go around LA. Right. And slowly but surely, I ended up getting a job on Melrose after maybe like a year. And I signed my first lease, which I felt super grown up.
That's huge.
I was like, what, me? Being a grown up and settling, being grounded, like, okay, look at her. But yeah, and things just started kind of blossoming. I got into, I've always been an artist. I've always loved doing different kinds of art. Yeah. And I started carving wood, doing like wood pieces. Like I would do like peach. So it was called Peach Fuzz. Peach Fuzz. And I would make these peaches like with like pussies on it. Okay. And like I did like a huge table. I actually sold a couple, which was like amazing. Nice. Yeah, I'm like, oh, people
the
really
stuff
like
people
my art.
Like. Yeah. You'd be surprised.
But that was a stepping stone to my jewelry making. Right. You know, even though it's like completely different, like you know. But it was, and now I'm doing jewelry.
And now you found it seems like you found your niche.
I found my niche.
You found your niche.
I feel so grateful.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So the wood carving, just on that, was just, again, it seems like everything just seems to like fall into place as far as like the direction that you're being taken in leading up to mm-hmm. Uzi as a jewelry. Yeah. And you're leaving no stone unturned, which is good. Yeah. And it's ballsy enough that at 19 you're able to say like peace to somewhere that you grew up and lived in. Yeah. And at no point after that like morning that you woke up, there was no like, well, maybe I should kind of go back or figure out your affairs, or it like, just kind of worked out.
I'm gonna make shit happen for myself.
Nice. That's ballsy.
Yeah, at the time I was. Now I'm a little less ballsy. You know, now I'm like, going anywhere, I'm like, wait, I need to plan things. Like, what you know?
I feel like, because especially since you're like stable now in LA, mm-hmm. there's, I mean, me personally, I don't see too many places that you can just be like, okay, bye LA, and then do the same thing and move up and over there. So now that you're comfortable here, it seems like the city, the vibe, what you're doing, it kind of just makes more sense for you.
For me, that's why I haven't even, it's crazy, I haven't gone back to Miami since I left. One of the reasons was I was just trying to make it, you know, trying to just do anything here to be able to like get on my feet and be independent, do my shit by myself. And it's taken some time, but I'm like slowly getting there, and I think by next year I'm gonna go visit.
You're gonna stop by. Yeah, it's not like taboo. You're not trying to like avoid it for any specific reason.
I feel like I low key kind of am too.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. I have my traumas, but
yeah. And then the styling. So it wasn't necessarily like something that you were extremely passionate to want to like. Hold on to it, especially over there in Florida.
No. I mean, I was a little upset and disappointed that I got let go, but I just felt like at the time that it was just what it was supposed to be. Right. You know?
Right.
Like
you kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. I used to go with the flow very well. Now it's a little bumpy.
Yeah. I mean, you're older now. It's not as easy to kind of release and kind of come and go with the wind as much,
but it works. Yeah. I'm making it work. Yeah. I started doing yoga too. After being here after a year and a half or so, and I started doing it consistently, and that has really like improved just overall my life.
So I've heard, and I haven't tried it, and I know. It's just it's not. I wouldn't say that I don't have the time, because I'm sure everyone can figure out time to do it.
Dude, you can do yoga, like 5-minute yoga at home.
Really? Like it can just be a quick as like a couple of poses, and then you're feeling good. So how has it helped you like? To the extent where you're saying like it's helped your life, like, because that's, you know,
it's pretty heavy. It's extreme. It has definitely made, how do I explain it?
Start from the beginning.
You know, when I started doing yoga, I was like in a very dark place, and and super lost. You know, that was like at the beginning of my trip here. I was still just super lost, and I started doing yoga, and like for some reason it like I felt safe there. You know, it was like my safe space that I don't really have because I was a gypsy. So I was always like everywhere, like with different people, absorbing all these different energies, like unconscious, like not knowing that I was doing that, you know? And the yoga just helps me like be able to like, just like slow down and like be able to just see things differently. Yeah. I don't know how to.
Yeah. You're focusing on your breathing. You're focusing on one thing at a time. You're kind of trying to perfect the pose and perfect the stretch and all that kind of stuff.
But it has definitely strengthened my mind.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. You need that. And when you're grounded here is like, you're starting to find yourself a little bit.
Yeah. No, it helps with the mental health for sure.
Yeah. So talk to me about the jewelry, because Uzi's it's Uzi. And you developed a brand, and where did you start as far as wanting to kind of put your name behind something?
How did it start? So honestly,
like, why jewelry? And it's more than just jewelry. It's like full accessories. It's everything from like thigh bands and whatever. I saw that today.
Belly chains or like
glasses with the links, the rings.
Yeah. So I've always actually done jewelry before. It was more not as what's the word? Just not as nice, you know. Like I was kind of like more like little kid things, like yarn and like. You know, and then slowly enough, it's actually really funny. So in the beginning, I loved the whole asymmetrical earring look. Okay. So I was like doing that a lot, and I was actually picking up little pieces that I would find on the floor and add it to one of the earrings. Okay. You know,
just random stuff on the floor, or it's like things you were like, oh, that would look good on.
Like one time, I found this little dream catcher charm in this person's right in front of their house, and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna add that to this earring. Yeah. And then slowly enough that and then people would like compliment my jewelry, even though it wasn't like nice because it was like all tarnished and like, you know, but
thrown together kind of thing.
Yeah, but people really like would see it. They're like, oh, and then I started doing more research on jewelry and the different metals that exist, and like, you know, all these different things, like the reactions that certain metals give to people, and like all these little specific things, and I just fell in love with it. Like hardcore.
Clearly. Yeah. It blossomed into an essence that is, you know, you.
Yeah.
And it's like to have your personality kind of directly translate into your jewelry kind of makes it more of like an actual brand.
Yeah.
It makes it more relatable. Yeah. More unique.
More me. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got? Damn, you're all stacked up with, oh my goodness. You weren't fucking around when you came in today.
This is like nothing too.
That's not.
But it's something.
So that's the rosary with the dagger.
Oh, this is, the popular daggery.
The popular daggery. And you're mostly like, do you do everything online? Do you do a lot of pop-up shops?
So I started doing pop-ups this year during the summer. I'm really grateful that one of my friends, Cole, kind of opened that door for me. She was like, yeah, you should totally do like a pop-up at my Yoga Nectar event. And I'm like, oh my God, like, cause I've always wanted to.
And you'd never done that before. You just did like online marketing. Okay.
Before, online, kind of Instagram or like in person.
Right.
You know, at my job, like people will ask me about my jewelry, and that's how I would, talk about it. But yeah, she totally did that for me, and because I was always kind of scared to like do pop-ups, because before doing one, you don't really know like all the things you need, and then it's just scary. So doing a pop-up through a friend's event made me feel more comfortable,
right? I get that.
So just in case anything, like any little mistake, like I'm not gonna feel like, oh my God, like it's like my friend's event. I feel comfortable. Yeah. So, but I did really fucking good.
Good, as you should. You would hope so.
I did really good, and that was just like a wake-up call. Like, Angelica, like, people love your shit. Like, you need to believe in your own shit.
Absolutely.
But it takes time to really, because as an artist, you're creating something, but you don't really know how the public is gonna respond. Like, you don't know, you're always kind of scared because you want people to like your shit, of course. And then you're scared that they won't. But after that one show, I saw that the response, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I need to be doing. For now, obviously, I definitely want to I don't want to be just sticking to doing pop-ups all the time. I want to get to the next level eventually.
Do you try to do everything as far as like a series? Like, do you have, let's say, like a winter collection where you put out certain things, or?
So, I want to get to that. Like, I want to get to like SS20, you know, like summer collection of 2020.
Because there is visions for the upcoming.
You know, yeah, right. But it's taken time to even get to. So first I would do different pieces, you know, and then like I would see after doing all these pop-ups, now I'm starting to see like what people are gravitating towards more. And then now I know what I need to be making mass productions of. Right.
Supply and demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
what are some of the things that you think people are kind of have been more?
The daggery, everything that has to do with daggers, people are super into, like dagger earrings, daggery.
Both male and female, unisex.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's what I also love about my jewelry. It's a lot of unisex.
Right. I don't know if I can wear those thigh chains. I don't think that would.
I think you pull it off very well.
I don't. With the holiday season, I don't think that would.
I feel you. It is that time. Yeah. Oh, all the sugar. It's so good.
Oh God.
But it's okay. It's the holidays.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the rosaries. It's definitely different. Like the rosaries with like a different, these like hardcore charms. It's super contradicting.
Like I was going to say, it like represents something completely different with the rosary.
And I love it. But you know what I just found out? And I did this not knowing that it actually, so this is Michelangelo. He's a saint. And he is known to hold a sword. And he's like, he's known for like.
And you didn't know that going into it.
I didn't know that. I was literally thrown back.
Divine intervention.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I thought that was super freaking amazing when I found that. I was like, wow.
That's like, good though. I mean, at least, so you started just making stuff based on how you saw it and what you thought would represent yourself well. You liked wearing, you put everything on, and then now you're kind of starting to understand like, hey, one, this is, you know, it's by the people for the people,
for sure,
so to speak.
Yeah.
And you're starting to pick up that, hey, these people kind of prefer the rosary, so maybe I can focus on different. Are you doing like different designs for the rosaries?
I am. So I have like the Uzi rosary. I have like a gun on the rosary.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
I'll have like a bullet on the rosary that, just different little hardcore charms on
local here in LA. You get everything done here in LA.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't even know that that's like a thing that happens here. I mean, obviously jewelry, but like custom to this extent. You have to somebody that does it, that kind of understands the brand that you're trying to get across.
So I have a partner also.
Okay.
In this, my boyfriend, he's very well experienced in this, like just marketing and like art stuff. Like he has like companies of his own, so he's actually really helped me like blossom my
good.
my art.
And you met him out here in LA, obviously.
Yeah, I met him like probably like a month in, but we didn't get serious. We're still kind of like but it works out. I mean, 3 years later,
that seems to have worked out. So it seems like up and out of Florida seemed to kind of be like it had to happen for you.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I have my whole life, you know. I have my boyfriend with my puppy. I have my jewelry business. Now I'm practicing yoga, which has expanded just everything.
Yes,
and I just feel so freaking grateful for all that, because like I literally thought I would never have what I have, you know. That's
great. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you're at the point where, because I know what it's like to move by yourself. I moved here. My whole family lived in Beirut, and I moved back here when I was 19. Same as you, on my own. I was going to community college. I was working part-time. It was fucking rough. It sucked.
It is
and
rough.
So to hear you say like at 19, after a wild night, you decide, and you do. It's not like you decide like, hey, I'm gonna go to LA. I'm gonna buy my ticket. You bought the ticket and like left that day of.
Like literally 3 hours after. I was like,
and at no point during the flight, you were just gone. As soon as you got to LA and woke up, is when you were like, oh shit, I'm here now.
Yeah,
that's a lot, dude.
It was scary, but.
And you just got into the professional field when you came out here.
Yeah. Okay. I did.
Nice.
It's been a journey for sure. It's been a freaking journey, and it's hard. It's like not easy, you know, but like, it's just, you're always going to be going through obstacles, and it's just a matter of like just overcoming them, being strong-minded, and like believing in yourself, believing in like, you know, what you came to do on this earth, you know, like, and just fucking doing.
Yeah, exactly. That the two things you said, being strong-minded, because it's hard. You can get really like down on yourself being out here alone and having to try to figure everything out from scratch. So it's like, if you can tell yourself like baby steps, just doing it, like one thing at a time. If you can figure out at least some sort of like, I want to maybe try doing this instead. And even if it's not going to be like the definitive, way that you're going to be going, to actually like decide to start doing something is the only way that something's going to be done.
Exactly.
So you took your steps, you got to a point where now you kind of have the snowball rolling.
Yeah, and the world just responded.
Yeah,
like the world
absolutely.
just wants to see you put in the energy. It doesn't matter where or how, like it just wants to see you doing whatever it is, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that train of thought, I think I feel the same way. It is really about like the energy that you put into everything. There's a fucking phrase, and I'm like doing things with purpose. There's a I fucking forget what it's called. But anyway.
No, I get you though.
Doing everything with purpose and like having intent behind your vision.
Yeah, that's important.
That's extremely important.
Yeah,
even
important.
where you didn't
intention.
necessarily.
So yoga taught me intention.
Oh yes. Tell me how it incorporates in yoga, because I'm not familiar.
Yeah, because I can't really like when you ask me like, oh, how did yoga? Like I can't think of it, but like as we're talking, it like that's one of the things that like it'll come up. But that's one of the things that yoga helped me, like taught me.
To focus on your intent for what you're doing.
Yeah, intentions behind everything that you do, Like
does that apply in like the movement, like intention of?
Yes.
Or more like in your head?
Both, but I'm focusing more on my head.
Okay, your headspace.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yoga, as long as you're comfortable and as long as you're continuing to do it. So now you have your base here in LA. There's no plans on really like necessarily obviously moving back to Miami for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
right?
no, there isn't.
So you get that going. You're here in LA. You have the boyfriend with the dog. You have the jewelry company. You have the yoga.
Yes.
Okay. So where like now that you've gotten to this place that you kind of didn't expect yourself to go, it's one thing to kind of sit and stay, but the fact that you're like identifying the people that like certain items in your jewelry and you're trying to expand that. Are you trying to do more than pop-ups and online?
Yes.
Like what's about the brand that you can?
So I just want to expand the brand. Like right now I'm about to launch on this website called WeCoco.
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 Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. I already have my jewelry in a store in downtown where I sell it. I used to have it on Melrose. I got into a little conflict, but
I was gonna say, how do you trust your jewelry with like other?
So that it's hard, but I trust. It's just communication. It's an energy thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about energy. Like you can
gauge people.
Yeah, I just feel energy. You know. And that's kind of how it led me to where I am now, is by feeling people's energies and like just going by my intuition. Yeah. Intuition is something huge for me. Something that I've been trying to like really learn and really like, what's the word?
Like being deliberate about certain things, or
no, just
trusting your gut.
Yeah, just really trusting yourself, because it's like it's been really hard for me to like trust myself recently, and like decision makings and like.
I mean, it seems like you've got the decision making down. To be honest,
Thank you.
It seems like you've got the decision making down. I mean, obviously, there's always work to do, and I don't think anyone's ever done kind of making the right decisions for themselves, but you kind of went off on a whim, and now you're starting to figure it out.
But yeah, I didn't really do it alone. My boyfriend has been there every step of the way, guiding me, mentoring me. So I'm learning from the best.
Yeah. And what does he do? You said he has companies. What's his work or his involvement in marketing or jewelry?
In the arts, he used to have a clothing company called Frenemy, and he started that in 2013, and then he got into doing weed pens. Okay. So it's called Hit One. Yeah, and now he's expanding to doing flower. So yes.
The weed industry is in LA now that it's, or in California now that it's legal, is like
it's booming. But now with all these like things about like the pens, because they're talking all this shit about jewels, which it's true. But now people that don't smoke are not disconnecting. But like, first of all, weed pen and jewels, two completely different like lives. Like what? Yeah. Two different stories.
It's always been like that, though. People that don't understand it are the ones that are making the decisions about whether or not.
I'm like, what? How? Yeah. I don't get it.
So it's our job to educate the people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think now it's a little bit more lenient with like the THC and the weed because it's legal here. But
I'm so happy it is.
Yeah.
Because, dude, it's so funny. Like I'm from Florida, like super illegal at one point. I'm not sure I don't know how it is right now.
I'm not sure.
But I would get in so much trouble over weed, and now it's like acceptable. I'm like, what? Can those go off my record? Like,
they should, I think.
Yeah, I was underage though, so it doesn't even matter.
So wild times in Miami at an early age.
Oh yeah.
Is it the nightlife that kind of got you? Just you were young and deciding to go out, or was the men's styling, like the professional environment, kind of taking you there?
So the party actually got me to the styling.
The partying got you to the styling, so that kind of works out.
I just had a very chaotic household, so I never really wanted to be at home. So I was always very like out and about.
Right.
And Miami's a super party town, so
never been there, but I
it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna rage it for like 40 hours straight, no
Jesus
sleep. Go to Club
Christ.
Space, like no sleep, like that's it.
Club Space, is that like the main spot?
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. It's too much.
And where is it in Florida? Miami? Like directly in Miami?
Yeah, right there
South
in like
Beach?
downtown Miami.
Downtown Miami. Oh my God, I can only imagine.
Yeah, but I miss it though. I definitely want to go back. Like now, like being the person that I am, and like have grown, like with the knowledge that I have now, and like I want to go back.
Right,
and, like,
of course. I would hope so.
Just kind of
go visit your old roots, but now you're going back as like, I fucking left.
Yeah.
I got my shit, even a little bit together.
No, I got my shit together. Like not a little bit. I got my
Yeah.
whole shit together.
Hell yeah.
So like it's a huge deal.
Good.
My mom is so proud of me. She's like, wow.
Good.
I'm like, yes, mom.
She's out in Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, so you wake up the next day in LA. We got to talk about calling your mom, and what was that like? Yeah, we're not going to skip over.
Dude. Okay. So I actually, I didn't even like call her or text her letting her know I was leaving. I literally land, and I'm still
God.
like, from all of the partying,
Right.
I'm still a little out of it. And I FaceTime her, and I'm like, hey, mom, like, I'm in LA. She's like, wait, what? Like, first question is that mama, how much was your ticket?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Where are your clothes? All this shit. And I'm like,
Yeah. Oh
like,
my God.
what clothes? Like, I'll thrift here. I don't need clothes. Like, it's fine, mom.
Now imagine your child doing that.
I would never.
That's what I'm fucking saying.
Never.
That's what I'm saying. So put yourself in your mama's shoes. That's wild.
I know.
And at 19 was the age when you came out here?
Yeah. I'm turning 23 next in like
That
6
was
months.
recent.
Yeah, it's like three years ago.
Yeah. Welcome to fucking LA. I'm glad you got all set up, and I'm glad we can get you on here. And how's your mom doing now? After after that mental breakdown she probably had in the beginning.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
She's really proud of me. She's seen me grow a lot. Like, she's definitely seen an improvement. And
she didn't try to tell you like, hey, get your ass back to fucking Miami tonight kind of thing?
The thing is my mom was never really strict. That's why I was as crazy as I was, because I never had that like discipline at home, So I was kind of like my own mom. Like I told myself like,
you held it down.
Yeah, I held down the fort.
Nice.
And it worked.
That's good. I'm
worked.
glad she's supportive. It's always good to have because if your parents are the ones that aren't really happy with your decision, then no matter how much you do, they're still going to be like, but my parents are still.
And they'll make you feel that little
fuck,
like I'm disappointing my parents.
Nice. Has she been out here before?
No, but she wants to.
Yeah, she got to come out to LA and watch
to.
Uzi in her natural habitat.
Dude,
you seem so excited about it. That's great.
I'm so excited about Uzi. Like that.
That's
this
great.
Is my baby. I mean, I already have a little furry baby, but this is like.
Literally, your brand.
It's
you in gold.
Yeah.
You in gold.
I'm doing silver now.
You're doing silver. You're expanding. So do you want
people want silver?
The people want silver. Do you take usually when people are kind of coming into your pop-ups and you're just like, hey, you like this piece? Do they ever ask for hey, do you have this in silver? Do you have this kind of stuff? And that's kind of where you're connecting the dots for what everybody likes.
I first started doing a lot of gold because that's what I like. So I'm obviously just going to do things that I will wear,
right, of course.
So I started doing that, and then as the brand has been growing, and then more what's the word? Anyway, just more demand. There
more
we go.
More demand, yeah.
I'm like spacing
We'll get
out.
there.
So yeah, just more demand. More money coming in, so I'm able to produce more of the things that people want.
Nice.
So
do you plan on doing other expanding on more than just this specific kind of jewelry? Do you want to take it to clothing? Do you want to take it to?
Oh yeah, dude! I'm
You've
already
lit up.
Look at my new scarf.
What is that? Is that an Uzi scarf?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's rad.
It's 100% silk.
Show it to the people.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you in part by Uzi.
Uzi.
Okay, so you're going full branding, taking it out of just jewelry.
Hoodies,
tight.
Sick.
Tight.
Yeah. And then eventually, like, this is obviously for branding purposes and stuff. And obviously, it just looks cool too.
Sure.
But I do want to do like clothing.
Nice.
That's
a whole nother beast.
Yeah. So before doing the jewelry, like in between the jewelry and the wood art, I wanted to do clothing. Okay. So I actually bought myself a sewing machine. Okay. And I went to the fabric district, bought fabrics. I got this like ribbed fabric because it was super popular for these little crop tops. People were like so into it. So I started making them, and like people would buy them and stuff. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to do clothes. Like, I'm going to be a fashion designer. This is it. And like, honestly, like was learning more about the fashion designing world. Like most of these brands are not so like cutting and sewing every little piece. Like they're getting it like already all done from China or something, it's like easy.
Of course.
I'm here thinking like, no, it has to be like,
I think
that's super hard.
I know it's super hard, but I feel like unless you have like the backing of someone that's going to really finance you to be able to like mass produce everything to where they like drop the price, let's do it from China, we make more, we pay less kind of thing. You're in a position where unfortunately you have to maybe focus on doing the hand by hand at first.
That's where I was, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, one, you're going to be able to say that, hey, this is handmade. You can charge a little bit more because it is,
cool.
You're putting
unique,
in the work.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely, it's unique.
For sure.
And it kind of represents, again, it represents you. It represents the path you've come to. Like, hey, I'm doing this shit on my own.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to jump to LA on my own, making my clothes is handmade by me.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but the bigger brands, so that kind of put you off on the merchandising as far as like seeing that other brands weren't doing everything hand by hand, and they kind of.
When I was learning, it's like when you, like I'm just kind of just new to this, know, so I'm like learning all these things, and then when I noticed that, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like,
they're not even doing it.
Like I'm like that's not a thing. I'm like, and like no, and then my boyfriend's like, no one does that. I'm like, not even like Louis Vuitton. And I'm like, what? Anyways, but. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. But then I'm like, okay, this is not what I want to do.
Right. So that alone was like your redirect
back to jewelry. Yeah.
So you had the men's styling. No, the woodworking.
It was after the men's styling.
So it was men's styling, woodworking. You tried the clothing, and then you were kind of put off by it, and then you went to the jewelry.
Yes.
Got it.
And I just that's it.
There's no going back.
There's no going back. Like this is it.
What's your like piece? Like
my favorite,
your main focus as far as like the idea of what you're trying to do with the brand,
like
this kind of lacing stuff, or the fact that you're having something be a little bit more than just like a pair of glasses, but there are extra pieces.
With these, when I was younger, my grandma would always bring me back like glasses chain from Venezuela, but there would be
that's a thing. Glasses chain. Okay.
Yeah, and they would be just made out of like these yarn and beads, like super like cheap little. And it's so funny. I'm like 10-year-old me with like everyone at school is like, what the fuck?
Oh,
like,
okay. Damn, you were Uzi before Uzi was Uzi. Sick.
You put it like that, yes. Yeah. Kind of.
So you had no idea what was about to happen that.
Isn't that funny?
It's wild.
So that's actually how I came up with doing this again. I'm like, because I wore glasses my whole life.
Okay.
I stopped using those little things my grandma would buy me. Because I was like, they're not chic. They're not like cute. Like,
excuse me.
Like I'm like, grandma, stop. No, I'm kidding. I love you, grandma. But yeah, so then I got into making these. And then people started, it's funny, a lot of companies started like catching on and making their own, but they'll never make these.
What is it about those?
These are like little filigrees, like little dainty, like a bunch of people just do like basic chains, like a basic just Figaro like curved chain, like just easy. Like these are a little more detailed and dainty. And
are you making those yourself?
Yeah.
You make every little piece by yourself as well? I thought you were getting it from someone else.
So certain things I'm making and certain things I'm putting together.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So okay, that's fully. Like just it's you.
Yeah
from start to finish.
Yeah.
Nice. I gotta find me a unisex piece that I could work.
Yes.
I'm not very good with jewelry.
You should do
or a ring.
Are you silver or gold?
Silver.
Okay, noted.
Yeah. silver ring. I'm looking for a silver ring, so let me know what you can find.
For sure.
So living in Florida, like what have you seen as far as like the difference between your experience in Florida compared to LA? As much as like how the partying scene is there, because you're saying you were integrated into it kind of young, and then now that you're seeing the scene that we have here in LA, like what are the key differences that really makes it Florida compared to making it like an LA party?
It's a very fine line.
Yeah.
It's very subtle.
Really? I thought it would be like complete opposite.
It's so
energies.
similar. It's so similar, but there's a difference, and I can't really pinpoint because, I mean,
I feel like the partying you were doing at 19 was maybe not in the same.
That too.
Effect,
it's a different
same intent behind what you're doing now.
For sure. No, you've 100%, 100%. Super sloppy before. Now it's more like I'm going to like. Either work to like, or like, because when you're going out, you're working in a sense.
Networking.
Networking.
Always
there we
working.
go. Networking.
Yeah, always working.
Yeah. So it's just, different intent.
And you didn't have that kind of pressure in Miami to kind of really, you were just there to enjoy the party.
I was just there. Yeah. And it's like, what am I doing with my time?
But you see that difference though, like being someone, it's been so long since I've been like, a person that just kind of I'm buying tickets to go to a concert or I'm going to a show and the only thing I'm caring about is that. But now, let's say with you, like you have the jewelry behind it, so you're seeing things differently. The way you talk to people is differently.
Yes.
You can. I feel like it's really hard to really just like enjoy the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just depends. It depends.
Yeah. I just. Half the time for me, my intent is I go early and I leave early.
Yeah.
I'm an old man already.
No.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I'm kind of getting there though too. I'm like at this point, I don't even want to go out.
You're 23.
Yeah.
I'm 29.
I don't even want to go out.
Yeah. So 6-year difference at my age. I'm just
Yeah.
Unless it's like our show and I'm there to obviously it's like our brand. You want to be there the entire time, but for somebody else, it's like I'll come and support. You do the networking. You meet the people. For sure. You show love to people because 100%. I think that's huge in our industry, especially now.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on, it feel like people kind of connecting with each other and sticking. Like, hey, I'm here to show love when I can. Yeah. But I'm going to be here for an hour and then I'm going to go home.
I'm so bad at that too. Like recently I've just been focusing on like grinding. Like I'm only out when I'm doing a pop-up. I'm not doing a pop-up. I'm not coming out. And it's like, I feel bad because like I don't want to push my friends away, but it's just like I'm just so focused and like I have like my day job, which I have to wake up super early. Like I was telling you earlier, like 4:30 in the morning to be there by 6. And I do that, like 3 days a week. Or sometimes more, but the point is that if I'm working the next day, like the day before, I obviously just want to like be home or after work, like I'll practice my Ashtanga, my yoga and like, it's a style of yoga that I got into. I was doing flow for like 3 years and then I recently got into Ashtanga. Yeah. There's like so many different styles of yoga. Okay. Yeah. And it all kind of focuses.
I don't know shit, guys. I'm sorry. Everyone's going to message like, well, you don't know yoga?
You're like, what?
Loser, you live in LA?
Yeah. Because it's such a yoga town out here.
Oh, yeah. So that kind of works out for you.
Yeah.
You ended up finding that.
Yeah, and I did my teacher training too.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because I was like, I want to be a yoga teacher. Like, I want to make jewelry and do yoga and travel the world and promote my jewelry. And because they both kind of connect, you know? So that's been a vision of mine that I want to do. I just haven't been able to, like, start teaching yoga because I've just been so focused on Uzi. Like, I feel like Uzi needs my full 100% attention to really make this shit grow fast. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, do it. Do it. Put your 110%. But I don't think it should like push your friends away. Like I totally get like.
I just don't go out as much. But that's okay. To have fun, Like I'm like.
Yeah, but you're waking up at 4:30 to go to work. You're focusing on your brand. Like you've done your partying.
Yeah, I did.
You've done enough at least to hold you off for like a little bit to where you can like put in. No, I mean you're still gonna get it. You're still gonna go out to your friends' parties. You're gonna vend at shows, and you're still gonna have the opportunity to go out. But
totally.
I wouldn't like put it on yourself so
like
much to be like, I mean, right now is your time to kind of focus on your brand. You came out here for what? To fucking party? You came out here to support other people? No, you came to build your own shit. Yeah. So I think like building like the people around you, I think is huge, especially like committing to coming.
Yeah, you definitely need to support like group. Yeah. Friends. Yeah, it's super important out here, especially when you're like just alone and really trying to like build something for yourself. Like you need that support, and friends are definitely one thing. Yeah. Well,
anything you need from the 900 block and the podcast, we got you. We support you. Well, maybe you can have you vend it the next one. Ooh, we'll work it out.
That'd be fun.
We'll talk. We'll make it work. Cool. Well, what's in store for 2020? You wanted to talk about Uzi summer collection, spring collection.
So now that I have more of a direction, like now that I know, because as I was saying in the beginning, I was just kind of making jewelry, and then as the time passed, like I saw what people wanted, and now I'm at the point where I want to start it's more like it's more organized now.
Totally.
It's becoming more and more organized. Things are becoming more clear to me that weren't so clear in the beginning. And for me, I'm such a like hard head. It takes kind of like 2 or 3 goes arounds for me to be like, oh,
I
like,
get it now.
like shit, I could have been doing that last summer. Fuck, I would have been way advanced this summer. But it's like, oh, whatever, you know.
What do you pay attention to kind of? Is it like the fads that are kind of happening at the time, where you're like, I could have done that last season, sort of thing, or what do you look for as a designer that would kind of fit under? And
when I mean like something that I would have done, I'm just talking more of like I could have been doing pop-ups last year.
Oh,
like I could have been starting like. You know, I could have, where I'm at right now, I could have been last year.
Got it.
If I would have been a little more.
Yeah, but now you're.
But now
you're.
So
that.
now it's,
so
now I'm there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time to build something like that.
Yeah, it really does. Especially when you don't really have that like structure, that like, you know, and like.
Dude, you're doing great.
You're like all over the place, and then now you're, you know, it's
starting to manifest itself.
Yeah, and it's making more sense.
Right.
And that's what I feel super just happy about, that it's making more sense. Things are becoming more clear. The yoga is definitely clearing things up in my head. And yeah, it's just it's helping, like the yoga is actually helping me with my brand as well, and just with like interactions with people as well.
Yeah.
And my day job is also helping me with that. Like, so you're really learning from everything. You know, it like implements with something else.
Yeah.
And it's all connected.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Good. Find your connections with everything, and then people can expect new color. We're gonna see silver. We're gonna see some clothing. We're gonna see. Yeah,
I mean, as you can see, you got the scarves. The hoodies are coming soon. So yeah, right now I'm doing like stainless steel, metal, but I do want to get into like more of like, you know, eventually getting into like that sterling silver, and like eventually getting into just working with like gold, you know, fine metals, you know, but it's just baby steps. You gotta build to that.
Yeah.
You
know? And you're well on your way. I'm telling you, trust me. Keep sticking to keep sticking to your brand. Where can everybody find like your brand, you, Uzi?
So my website, Angelica Uzi. I also, my Instagram is the same. Those are basically my platforms where I show my stuff. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to touch on? Am I missing anything about Angelica Uzi that you need to?
I don't know. I think we talked a lot.
We got it.
I'm like, I think I shared a lot about myself.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, anything you can do to kind of get yourself
being vulnerable right now. It's
I
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out.
You.
I appreciate your time. We got to get your nails. You got a nail appointment.
I do.
We got to get her to a nail appointment.
I'm excited.
You're kind of coordinated to make it work with your nails. That's how important it is. I got you.
I love how it works.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Bye.